Okay, so this is going to be a different kind of video. If you read the title, you'll realize it doesn't have Warframe in it. That's because this isn't going to be a Warframe video for the most part. I may reference Warframe because it's one of my YouTube channel, this channel that you're watching, in fact. But I do have other channels. I'll link all my other channels or my active channels in the description below. But today I'm going to talk about, I rambled a bit in the beginning because I'll be honest, I'm genuinely nervous to make this video. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. So, as many of you guys may know, I do have a disability. Okay, my disability is called Cerebral Palsy, which basically, for those of you guys that don't know, it affects my speech a bit from time to time, affects my balance as far as walking and whatnot, and hand-eye coordination. So that's basically the gist of it without getting into the nitty gritty or into the weeds, as the kids say. Did the kids still say that? Let me know, comment section below. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about what it's like being a content creator with a disability. For me particularly, there's other disabilities out there and whatnot, but I can only talk about for me specifically. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, I have 4 YouTube channels that I am pretty active on, as well as I stream from time to time. I'll put the link in the description below to both my stream and my wish list. I just had to mention it here because those of you guys that check out my stream, I always mention it at something like, if you want to see the weird stuff I'm into or whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. As far as things are concerned, as far as making content and recording content, I have a setup that works for me, and it's actually very important to have a setup that works for you. This is just, I guess, general advice, because workflow is important. And for those of you guys that don't know, I am a self-taught content creator, you could say. I didn't go to any special school or anything for film or video editing or anything of the like. I literally, a combination of reading Reddit, looking up YouTube videos and whatnot. So I know how to use, it was called Vegas. It was called Sony Vegas, but I guess it's just Vegas. I did not like that at all. It was super slow, but that was my computer fault. I know that now. Okay, so sorry, Vegas, if you're listening right now. Sorry, I may have slandered you in my mind for no reason, because I didn't know when I first started creating content. I didn't know that the GPU and CPU, I thought an all-in-one computer was good for making content. All-in-one desktop with a touch screen. Yeah, that's what I was making content on with Vegas. And then I moved on to, I tried to move on to Final Cut Pro, right? And I even went as far as getting a Mac so I could center my content around Final Cut Pro. But when I first saw Final Cut Pro interface, I was like, What? You gotta be a rocket scientist to understand this. Well, it turns out you don't gotta be a rocket scientist. So I picked it up pretty quickly, and then later on down the line, I picked up DaVinci Resolve, and I've been using DaVinci Resolve for a lot. I switched back to a PC for DaVinci Resolve, though, mostly because of the fact that it's easier to stream from a PC, because the Mac, when I would stream from the Mac, my stream would like pause every so often and whatnot. And I didn't know why. I didn't at all suspect it could have been the Mac. So, it kept pausing because OBS is slightly different on the Mac than on PC. Yeah, OBS is it stands for Open Source Broadcast. No, OBS, Open Source Broadcaster. Yes. So basically, it's how you broadcast content and whatnot. Okay, so anyway, none of what software I use had to do with my disability at all. I just wanted to run down all that stuff with you guys and mention my YouTube channels. I do a lot of VR content on my tech channel currently, which is interesting, I think, because basically the VR headset, particularly the MetaQuest 3, had this option which lets you basically lie down to play games if you need to. And a lot of VR games these days are adapting the ability to be able to sit down while using VR. And, I can walk around and everything just fine, but, every now and then it's nice to sit down and have a rest and whatnot. Now, I want to get to A, why I'm making this video on the channel at all, and B, comment sections for all my YouTube channels, okay? Because I'm sure you can imagine how the comment sections, they can feel pretty brutal at times. Not from the channel for the most part, but in general, on all 4 of my YouTube channels I'm active on. Okay, so first, let's talk about the whole thing with, actually, you know what, let's go ahead and talk about the comment section. Okay, so the comment section, I have to block a lot of words, okay, and I mean a lot. Basically, each content creator can make it so if certain words are used, it automatically gets filtered, so I have to approve it. So, yeah, there are lots of words I have blocked. Most of them some of them are scam related, like there were a bunch of scams back in the day, so a bunch of words and even some emotes are blocked, but I've also had to block some, let's say, insensitive words across the line. Yeah. And I have my YouTube comments on, you can basically have it set to what mode you want the auto moderator to basically what they would do is say, oh, this may be insensitive, or something that you don't want to necessarily put. So it will basically be like, oh, you'll have to manually approve it. And it's an extra step, but it's an extra step that I don't think I mind with 4 channels and stuff. I will be on it. This channel, you guys are the most supportive, I feel, on the channel. Don't tell the other channels, okay? By the way, link in the description below to the other channels. I have a tech channel and 2 other gaming channels. What's funny is when I'm advertising the channel, I advertise the gaming channel as a gaming channel, the other gaming channel as a card game channel. But this is just advertised as the Warframe channel, even though it's technically a gaming channel because Warframe is a game. So by definition, it's a gaming channel. But anyway, let's get back to why I put it on the channel. Because this is the channel that started it off for me, okay? Back when I began my content creator journey, I was lucky and got 200 subscribers from the get-go, right? And then I reached out to Digital Extremes. I was like, hey, I want to be a content creator for you guys. At that time, I thought I had to have a YouTube channel dedicated to Warframe, if I'm being perfectly honest. I know now that I didn't, but I don't think I'd have it any other way. I feel like I feel like the channel worked out great because it is dedicated to Warframe and Warframe entirely, except for a few odd videos, and I guess this video, but yeah. And second of all, not just the DE aspect, but you guys are very supportive, okay? I'm saying you guys because I assume everyone that actually even cared to watch this video will only be supportive people. I can't imagine someone hate watching this whole video. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. It's definitely possible. If you did hate watch the video, thank you for the views, I guess. But yeah, anyway, you guys are very supportive and I truly do appreciate it. I know some of you guys subscribe to most, if not on my channel, so chances are you would have seen this no matter what channel I put it on. But I feel like right now it's probably because this is the channel I have the most subscribers on. Most YouTube channel I have the most subscribers on. Technically, TikTok has more subscribers, but that's not really a thing. TikTok isn't a place for this kind of video at all. Yeah, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, you guys are very supportive, overwhelmingly supportive. Yeah, like I said, every now and then I might get like a very negative comment on here from some kid who's trying to be funny. You can tell they're trying to be funny from their comment because, yay, bullying other people is fun type thing. But yeah, it's one of those things that you'll get used to over time. And like I said, there's infinitely less of it on the channel. I feel like despite the channel having more traffic coming to it overall. But yeah, I get short answer did not watch, but the thing is I'm thinking at the end, which means you guys that are hearing this did watch it. But I will say that for my disability in specific, realistically, I think it has affected my growth on the platform overall. But with that said, I don't think it's a hindrance to my content creation process, or rather any potential hindrance that could be I actually have a system, a flow, if you will, that works well for me. So, and like I said, that's very important to have. And yeah, I've yapped on for long enough. I'm still, for some reason, I went back to very nervous. I was just calmly talking to you guys about everything, but now I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous how this video will be received, if I'm being honest. I feel like I'm being a lot more, open than I normally am. I mean, in the description of every video, or every newer video, every video done with, I would say, within the past 5 or so years, I do technically mention that I have cerebral palsy, but it's way at the bottom in the description. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna end it here because now I'm just getting overly nervous and thinking how, yeah, I'm thinking how people might not like this kind of video at all. Well, I'm going to end it here. With that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.